So guys, we're in a stadium now. It's pretty sick so far. Got a pin.
As they go outside with the afternoon slump after lunch, we wouldn't mind that. But we are trying to achieve that slump in the sense that all of the room has mood lighting, low ceilings, right temperature. The manager's office, the changing area, the toilets, massage tables, or the massage area with 6 massage tables, the showers and the ice bath. So the ice bath is at the end. Ice cold water, not actual ice, for the players to recover from their injuries or just from the strain on the muscles, on the joints after the game. The briefing room and the coaches or technical team changing room. So 7. And you might think, Chelsea is such a big club. Where's the gym, the spa, the swimming pool? Not inside the stadium. There's no room. Where we are right now, this is the oldest stand. It's 40 years old. So even if it was on the newest side of the stadium, the most recent, we don't have the space. Okay, so where you started, half of the building, museum and shop, and the other half, the spa, the gym, the swimming pool. It's the Chelsea club, open to members of the public and used by the team if requested by Chelsea. Okay, it's not mandatory, but let's say they are having a training session and it involves using the swimming pool. Instead of using the one that we have at Cobham, our training ground, they use it here at the stadium. But by the way, they don't come here very often. At the end of last season, training sessions, they had 8. Up to this time of the season, they had 6. Okay, so it means 1 training session every month, give or take. All the training, all the practicing, Chelsea main team, Chelsea ladies, our academy takes place at Cobham, which is around 20 miles south of London. Okay? And then, let's start what you see here, also done at Cobham. They are arranged by the same groups. We have here the Balkans, let's say. We have Bosnia, we have Serbia. Ivanovic used to be here. Now it feels strange not saying Ivanovic next to Matic, but he went to Russia. Why do we organize them by countries, by the way, or languages? Because it's easier for the bonding, for them to become friends, for the team spirit. They are more than welcome to speak in their own native languages, as long as they speak English as well, and they don't create any segregation, any segregated groups. Cahill Terry, John Terry, our captain. How long has John Terry been with us? Ages, yes. A lifetime almost. 22 years. Yes, he's playing his 22nd season for us. He's the most successful player in the history of the club and the third to have achieved 700 games played. Only 2 players did that in the 70s, and then John Terry also achieved 700 appearances. So, yeah, most successful player. All of the trophies that I was telling you about in the beginning, he has won them all. He has won them all. Then here the Spanish-speaking players, Pedro Fabregas, Marcos Alonso, Azpilicueta. Then we have the French-speaking players, different countries, Kanté, Hazard. Hazard is one of the stars of the team, isn't he? Yeah? Go online. Arsenal 3-1, second goal scored by him. He picked up the ball on the other half and then he went through all of the defense and he scored. By the way, it's one of his signature moves. When he's having one of those good days, that's what he does. But so far he has scored 10 in the league. Thank you. Here on this side, Diego Costa, David Luiz, Kennedy and William from Brazil. Yeah, makes sense? Well, it works for us. Because if you follow football or if you ever been to other stadia, you ask, why don't you organize them by position? Why don't you have just the numbers on the shirts and numerically from 1 to 32 or 37? Random, numerically organization. Position, too technical, in the sense that they bring the training on the pitch back to the changing room. Okay, they still use the jargon, they still talk about the plays and all that. So in this is to unwind, in the sense that we want them focused, but we also want them to talk about other stuff. On that screen, there aren't any, that's not for BT Sports or for any other games, no. films, music going on the match day. Okay, so on 2 weeks ago when we played against Arsenal, the players came to the changing room 10:30. Okay, 2.5 hours before the match, and that's usually the procedure. Any questions? No? Well, I forgot to mention that here on this side, the goalkeepers. Although Begovic isn't there, but when we had Petr Cech, all of the goalkeepers used to be together. So in this case, it's more about position rather than the languages and countries. But if there are any questions, we'll go through the tunnel. Yeah, it's the tunnel used by the players that you see on TV before kickoff. Yeah. As long as they go outside with the afternoon slump after lunch, we wouldn't mind that. But we are trying to achieve that slump in the sense that all of the room has mood lighting, low ceilings, right temperature.
Oh, no, my phone on it, but I've got 50,000 photos.
So much so that we can have here at the same time 12 cameras broadcasting, 12, and then 10 more around the stadium, around the pitch, sidelines, inside the goals, so 25? Yeah, it's a lot. I usually say there are no blind spots, everything is covered, even the players' reactions, the boss. When Hazard scored, the very next second you see Abramovich celebrating. So we have the camera on the box. By the way, it's up there where it says Chelsea. Mr. Abramovich, the owner of the club, was watching with family and friends, I reckon. It doesn't come often. I was asked, have you ever met him? No. I have been here 2.5 years, and as far as I know, he was spotted probably 2 times walking around the stadium. Is he approachable? Is he not? I do not know. Okay. And even so, and even the players, I haven't met all of the players. Yeah, they're up there, we're up here, we're down here. Sometimes you can meet them on training sessions, on signing sessions. These are the artificial sunlight gantries that are being lowered, and they will be moved. Right now, all of this is covering around 2/3 of the pitch. 2/3 of the pitch. So.
Sat in a manager's seat.
Where? Come back.
Oh?
Come back.
Come back?
Come back.
Why?
I'm sitting in manager's seat.
Who?
You.
I said you did.
Oh.
No. Used to. It's kind of rugby. Rugby. Say it out of school. Did say it, didn't it? Yeah, it's a 5. Huh? He sat over there. Cool, huh? I just don't know actually. This is probably an alright bit, isn't it? Here.
anyway.
Would want to
I
sit
don't know,
all
some
the way up
places
there.
attached, you can't see them.
Yeah, the cooktops is right
Guys, I
up there.
forgot to finish my tour around the stands, so to speak. So that 70s, where we are called the shed, was refurbished in the late 90s, and the opposite side, the Matthew Harding, mid-90s, okay? During the 90s, there was a construction site almost every single year here at the stadium, and also since from 99 until 2001, the west stand was being redeveloped from scratch. Okay, it had only one tier with a roof, and then two more were added. So most of the hospitality and the boxes, as you can see, are on that side. We will have a construction site from 5 to 7 years, well, 3 to 5 seasons in the not so distant future. Okay, the new stadium will occupy this ground, so we need to say goodbye to all of the old Stamford Bridge in the sense that nothing will remain. Well, maybe something will go to the museum of football. Maybe people will take some of these chairs home. They will be auctioned off or just given away to fans. But the structure will be completely demolished. The pitch will be lowered. The layout is inspired on the east stand, so 1, 2, 3 tiers, lower, middle and upper on all 4 sides of the pitch. So if you look up to the last row of seats, that's how it will look like. Just try to connect that all the way around the pitch. There isn't a lot of room around the stadium, but even so, the new stadium will grow to the sides. But we are not blocking off any of the space that we have currently. So what will we do? There are 2 railways, one behind the east stand, one behind the Matthew Harding. They will be covered, and then above the railways, people will, okay, they will become walkways. So we can maintain the flow of 60,000. Okay, so we need all of the space that we can get, and that's how we came up with a solution. It's not an easy process, but the permit from the council has come through. That's a big thing, it's a big step. The local authorities have given us the green light to go ahead to start building anytime soon. When? I do not know. Okay? Dates, and even what I was telling you, or I just told you, put a big question mark on top.